Witajcie ponownie na Intel Extreme Masters Katowice! Jesteście gotowi na finał StarCrafta?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice 2013, the first big tournament of the year. And it's time for the grand finale. I've got a feeling this is going to be a cracker as well. Two fantastic players, all the way from Korea. First up to the stage, please welcome Dream! And going head-to-head, the first man to qualify for the final, appropriately enough, is first! Okay. That was a crazy intro, wasn't it? Anyway, Rice, thank you for joining us once again. I just wanted to say thank you for all your translations this weekend. How does he approach this? How do you approach a final? And what have you got planned in terms of your mindset, how you play? Are you aggressive? Are you safe? How are you looking to this final?
결승까지 올라왔는데 뭐 생각해놓은 거 있는지, 뭐 스트래티지 같은 거, 아니면 경력적으로 할 건지, 아니면 그냥 뭐 생각해놓은 거 있는지 결승에 준비해놓은 거.
일단 결승에 와서 되게 떨리고요. 생각해놓은 건 딱히 없어요. 그냥 재밌는 경기 하고 싶어요.
Well, he's quite nervous because he made it to the finals, and so he's really nervous, and he didn't think about something special, but he just want to show some good games.
Okay. One final question. Have you got it? Have you got what it takes to beat this guy?
자신 있어? 이게 자신 있는지.
네, 파팅 형도 이겼기 때문에 무조건 이길 것 같아요.
Well, he beat Parting, so he's really confident to beat the first as well.
Okay.
Okay, just a quick question for you. You have beaten quite a few excellent players on your way to this grand final. Do you know how you're going to win your last match here in Katowice?
진짜 알고 있는지, 자신 있는지.
한국 예선에서 이겨본 상대니까 더 쉽게 이길 수 있을 것 같아요.
Well, Dream is an opponent that he met at the online qualifier in Korea, and he beat him there once, so he thinks it's going to be easy as well.
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, once more then for first versus Dream. Gentlemen.
Good luck, have fun, gentlemen.
Here we go then. Hold on to your seats at home, hold on to your seats in the Spodek Arena. This is the grand final for StarCraft 2 at the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice. It's time to send it over to our analyst desk, QXC, Todd, and of course Jarrett Kale.
Czas na analizy przedmeczowe. Zapraszamy.
After an epic tournament here in Poland, it comes down to this. PVT to decide who is the champion of the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice. I am so excited. I'm so excited to see how First approaches this match with Dream, dropping only one map in the whole tournament, but Dream showing everyone he can dominate any Protoss in the world.
Yeah, Dream showing very impressive play in his last series against Parting. I actually felt like Dream looked better against Parting than he did against Daisy. And maybe that was because Daisy, the games against Daisy, most of them were over so quickly that he wasn't really able to show us his full potential.
I agree. And we got the maps, and I think this is very interesting because Dream was the first to remove a map. If you remove a map first, that means that you are going to pick the first map. So Dream, he actually removed Whirlwind, which I'm not sure. I guess this is okay. I mean, I would have expected him to remove Ohana maybe, but he must feel comfortable on this map. I feel like Dream is a ladder player, so maybe you remove Whirlwind because this is not a ladder map. That's going to be important here. And first, he removed Metropolis, and I don't really understand this choice because you would expect every Protoss to remove Antigua. Yeah, very surprised by that.
Yeah. And of course, the first pick then from Dream is Antigua.
Yes,
right away.
So that's going to be extremely important because you always want to try to win that first game. Dream already had the first pick, but now he even got to pick a map he probably feels very comfortable on. So maybe first as a secret plan on
He
Antigua?
must. He must. I think we're going to see something really cool in Antigua because otherwise he is nuts.
Okay.
And I don't think he is.
Okay.
You know, if I looked
I agree.
through, if I could see, I wonder if he's maybe played Antigua this tournament before. Has he also not vetoed it? Has he maybe had some epic games on Antigua? I'm really anxious to see what he brings out here. He's so far been the top player at this tournament.
Oh, actually, he played against Cass
Yep.
in
We're
the group
checking to
stage.
see what maps that was.
Okay, actually, we got tabbed into the game, so
Well,
the game is
it
loading
doesn't
right
really
now.
matter. We're going on to Antigua. MVP Dream versus LG IEM first. Both players showing some magnificent play so far in this tournament, bringing their own style, bringing their own flair. Going to be very exciting to see what they're going to do in this set.
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm so ready.
The casters over there are ready. Kaldor and Kalaris. The fans are ready. Let's get it on.
Thanks very much, guys. Welcome to the caster's desk, as for now we have First looking prepared and ready to go. Are you ready, Kaldor?
I definitely am. We have another great turn versus Protoss ahead of us. The final of the Intel Extreme Masters in Katowice. And this is Dream. We have him on screen right now. He was able to take down Parting. Is he able to take down First, a player who only lost one map in the entire tournament?
Very, very impressive run by him thus far. That one map was dropped to Parting of all people, and now he goes up against our Protoss player down to the south, spawning as blue. Katowice, give it up for LGIM's First.
And starting to the top of the map of Antigua, we have the Terran player. After taking down Parting, he now faces First. It is MVP Dream!
Dream certainly accrued himself a few fans over the course of this tournament.
He definitely did. His series against Parting was excellent, and so far we've seen such excellent play in this tournament just in general. We have now Dream up against First. First dropping only on one map in the tournament, but Dream, this guy, he was beating so many Protoss players already. He took down Parting, he took down Daisy, and he took down Grubby. This guy has played 3 TVPs in a row. This is his first Terran versus Protoss. His fourth.
Yes, it's for Dream here. I was asked in an interview just before, during that final free-for-all, you know, what are my predictions? And Dream going into this looks phenomenal. In the end, I thought maybe, you know, a 3-1 for Dream here. First's got a monumental mountain to climb in the form of his Terran opponent.
And First is now not able to get into the main base. The supply depot is there. Dream is blocking the probe out in the main base. We don't see gas. And for Dream, we have an SCV scout in the main base of his opponent. So he knows about the timing for the gas here. He sees everything in the base of First. And of course, for a Protoss player, this is not really a map that you usually want to play. Todd touched on the subject when we had the analysis desk talk about this series. We might see something sneaky out of First, but so far he's playing it pretty standard, whereas Dream is now starting into his own expansion without a refinery, gasically expand after the barracks.
An interesting placement of that second pylon there by First, as he does throw down that on the very extremity, making it a little bit difficult for Dream to scout out by ground if he comes on in. And we'll see if he wants to hide something there.
Yeah, it's also more of a scan. You know, if you scan, you always want to try to have a quick look if there's an expansion as well, depending on the timing, of course, and if you guys can sneak in another SCV in early or not. So if he scans a little bit farther to the right side of the main base, then he won't see the pylon. We might see a hidden tech here by First later on. For now, he has the probe on the low ground. He wants to go into an expansion play, whereas Dream is adding 2 additional barracks now, going up to 3 and not taking gas whatsoever. And as I said, he drops the refinery.
Yeah, well, over back at First base, they have that Nexus on the way. More sentries coming out here just to put him in that little bit defensive mindset, and even throwing pylons down. He loves throwing pylons down on the extremities of his base, just to, you know, either well, there's the potential that he can hide things, or there's the potential that he can warp in on several levels. It's really by the by.
It also helps him with the drop detection.
Yeah.
If he has the pylon right to the left side of the map, you want to see the drop, of course, a lot faster, but if you don't have any units there, this is something that can really work out. And now first suddenly with 2 additional gateways. And a lot of Protoss players on a map like this will either go for a blink strategy, trying to blink up onto the high ground with the robotics granting the vision through an observer, or on the other hand, just a massive amount of gateways. This was actually how Huck was able to get into Katowice when he beat Fantasy on this map.
Yeah, it was, and you know, Huck there, gaining himself that position. It's not easy by any means, so you've got to be utilizing some of the most strong strategies in the book. First, though, might be able to spot these Marines moving out into the middle of the map, and Dream was hoping for the surprise, but it's not going to be a surprise at all.
Yeah. Very nice placement here for first Zealot. He knows exactly that this might be something that Dream is going to do. He has the Zealot there, and this is a little bit what we talked about earlier when, when QXC said that a lot of Terran players these days are sending out a few Marines to make sure that they are not flanked with Protoss High Templars for the Storm. So also very similar, early detection here for first, and therefore Dream not able to sneak those Marines into his mineral line.
Meanwhile, first continuing to build buildings all around the perimeter. Forge on the way here with the armor as well, so maybe gateway heavy to kick things off here for first, and Dream behind this, going up to his factory pretty rapidly here, whilst a little bit of poke out for first.
Yeah, but you know, with the timing that he has for this Forge, this is not designed to have the upgrade when he starts with his attack. He just has 3 gates. He's not going to kill Dream here. He just wants to poke a little bit, wants to go in, wants to have a quick look. If Dream is playing this too greedy, then he can push through, but he already has a plan for later on with the Forge, with the +1 attack upgrade. And Dream has no stim just yet, of course, so he tries to repair. He has 2 bunkers, and first is still poking. The SCV is already off the mineral line, losing mining time here and going straight into that 3rd bunker.
Forcing that 3rd bunker very nicely indeed, and so, well, throwing about a few supply depots down at that front position just to negate a little bit of that damage from those Zealots, as the Bio will poke away at this force down at the bottom of the ramp. Not too difficult to deal with. Oh, but he pins up those Bio units against it. There's still a lot of firepower from behind, though. Those Zealots, their sentries have to move back. They might die.
Yeah, nice force fields here. Is able to take down a lot of the Bio forces, and Dream for quite a while has cut his SCV production. He's now picking it up again, going into additional harvesters as he realizes that there are not too many units. It's not a 5 gate. This is just 3 gates poking a little bit. And first was probing behind this, using not too much chrono boost energy on his Nexus at the bottom right just yet, but he has now this robotics facility coming up with the Observer, trying to get the scouting information in there. And Dream, he has this defense, but now he has still a little bit of presence on the map, walking down the ramps, having a quick look if first is still there, reinforcing his army.
Yeah, with that Robo Bay on the way here. And again, as you rightly pointed out, first wasn't looking to kill his opponent. He was looking to, poke a little bit. And he also denied quite a bit of mining time as well from some of those SCVs that were on the way. And Dream, he's just playing this in a very standard way. He's feeling out his opponent here in game number 1. He's not saying, I'm going to go 3 command center and really gun-ho with that macro. He's just playing it normal, playing it safe, really getting a good perspective on what first can throw at him.
Yeah, he has these Marines at the left side of the map taking down the pylon now. The pylon is already gone. And what I really like of first is that he actually sends one observer in, but he completely dodges those units in the middle of the map. He has an observer that is going to spot the Marines, but he knows that if he has a moving observer there, it might just be scanned and then he loses his detection. So he wants to know what's going on. And for the more of a defensive play, he has this one positional observer that has been picked off as first expects an observer to be there. He didn't move it, he couldn't see it, he just anticipated that there would be a scouting unit for the Protoss player.
It looks like Dream here lining up his 1+1 and his combat shields very nicely, whilst first sees everything going on in his opponent's base. Meanwhile, Dream looking to actually go for this push. Is he going to stim up straight into this? There's a lot of force field potential in those sentries, and he will force field a lot of that off, sealing it off. Where is that first Colossus? It's not complete just yet. One of the Immortals does go down. Dream doing a little bit of damage here, but he has to fall back. That's too much firepower from first.
First is pushing him back. Dream had the high ground vision with the factory, and now here comes first again with another round of warp-ins. There are 3 medivacs by now. Another round. The stim is good, but he needs to retreat, and the Colossus is out. This kind of puts a stop to Dream's aggression for now. He has to be careful, but this Colossus is getting a little bit too overzealous. Moving out there now back behind the gateway units, and Dream is not done just yet.
Yeah, Dream here, he's making a lot back home. He's getting that Viking count. He has to fall back from this. There's no way on earth he can ever deal with that Protoss army. All those reinforcements as well on the way. But the factory, you know, provides such valuable information during that kind of engagement.
And we now have the charge upgrade started. Also the Templar Archive. He's going into Storm. He's trying to go for this tech switch. He's trying to fool his opponent. This is this back and forth in tech switches that we've seen in the series against Parting, especially in this game that we had on Daybreak. Great scout, of course, here with the Observer. But Dream is still producing Vikings. He has 2. He's going up to 5. He has 2 starports. So we will see if he completely overcommits or if he's going to scout what's going on here. And a great warp in pylon here for first.
Yeah, Dream here. He also knew that that Observer had spotted that medevac. He chooses to actually drop on the low ground, take out a pylon. Meanwhile, we have that probe and Zealot being very annoying, pesky at the third base. And Dream just rallying constantly to the middle of the map. This is the style that he's loved, and with nice control there, but this is the style he's loved in all tournament long, just constricting whilst taking a third base and trying to constantly keep his opponent on the back foot.
Yeah. The most important part with this Zealot harass that we saw to the left side of the map was that he was able to take down the SCV. Therefore, a lot of build time lost. The expansion is delayed, this third base, and First is now moving out, trying to take his own third. He has Archons now in the mix. He doesn't go into Storm just yet. We're going to see this upgrade very soon, especially when he's able to take this third base. Or is he doing it at all? We have him moving out right now. The charge is done. He has Charge Arc, and he can just go for it. And this seems to be exactly what he's going to do, but he has to be careful here. The stim is good, a nice concave for Dream. Here comes the Guardian Shield. The Colossus is, of course, dying to those Vikings, but the charged Zealots are moving in. Dream just has such a huge army that it's difficult to First to push through.
His macro's been phenomenal. He has so much bile constantly now barreling down on those Archons. They're forced to retreat here. First is in a lot of trouble. Scans go down to see if any more reinforcements coming. He's warping in a few Zealots at that location. Some force fields did trap in some of that bio. It's so close to dying off. First is just barely going to hold on, but there's more reinforcements coming.
When the fight started, First didn't have +2, but now the upgrade is completed, and this is now the chance that he has to move in. He wanted to have +2 armor against these units. He wanted to have the needle cheater with the Zealots, and now he has it. +2 on armor, +1 attack, and he's going in with the units at his disposal. He's trying to break through. There are no Zealots left. He needs to move them in, and here they come. They are charging into the battle, and suddenly Dream is on full retreat, has to move back here. First with those Archons behind them, tries to push in once again. No third base attempt for him. He's trying to crush Dream here.
Yeah, he's seizing the opportunity now, actually placing pylons down that left-hand side here, morphing in a lot of Archons as well. If he goes Archon charge lock, that's going to be very, very difficult here for Dream to deal with. A lot of firepower in the AoE of those Archons and a lot of tanking ability in those Zealots. He's going to push forward, trying to catch all of this bio against the wall. Those supply depots, they're raised. He tries to get along as well here. First is constantly chasing him down. Can Dream escape this? They're tanking so much.
Dream is trying to use this position with his buildings to his advantage, but First has much more army supply than the general player. 37 against 19 now, and here we go. More Archons are being moved. We have those Zealots just stalking up the ramp, and everywhere units for the Protoss play. He's warping in another round, and this just looks horrible now for the Terran. He even has to deal with Zealots at his third base, taking down SCVs.
Oh, the SCV's been pulled in the main as well. He's trying to deal with all of these Stalkers, but First is on a rampage. Sitting on top of this production facility means so little units. GG!
First takes the 17th win, the 17th map win at this IEM in Poland. 1 map loss, that is all. Dream is defeated in the first game. First, call him butter because this guy is on a roll.
He really is. Dream now, he has to look at that as his standard of what's going to happen in this series. He now has to adapt to what is going on here. First, for IEM, looking pretty good.
He's really looking good, and this final is off to a great start. Guys out there, if you are watching right now, jump on Twitter and hashtag IEM, hashtag Katowice, tweet about this game and spread the link. We have the first major event in 2013 for StarCraft 2. We have a Korean versus Korean final with First up against Dream, and we need to find out if Dream has an answer to First, who looks unstoppable in this tournament.
Yeah, guys, so let's hand it over to the analysis desk with Jarrett, QXE, and Todd.
LG, IEM First winning his 17th game straight at the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice. Is anybody going to stop him? He's just going to go out of the tournament like that, just sweeping everybody going out?
No, I think Dream's really going to come back here. I was very impressed with Dream's play against Parting. I felt like his builds were very well thought out. His transitions made sense. He knew when to attack, when not to attack. And this game just didn't feel as crisp as the other ones. It was confusing to watch for a couple of reasons. He went for a fast 5 barracks as opposed to a fast 3rd command center. Usually and he also added a 2nd starport. So usually when you do that, it means you're going to do some very heavy 2-base play. But the big 2-base push that we expected didn't really come. And then he also didn't have a 2nd eBay or an armory behind it to make a transition, to continue to play. If you get behind on upgrades, it becomes so difficult to win battles against Protoss, and especially against mass charge lots. And so it kind of felt like Dream assumed his opponent would go Colossus. He adds that 2nd starport, goes up to 5 racks, doesn't bother with more upgrades, and first doesn't. He makes 1 Colossus, then he goes into fast +2 with Zealot Archon, and it just dealt so well with what he was doing.
You could see the difference on screen. As soon as the +2s finished, the battle was swinging this way, and it just swung that way all the way back to his base, and inevitably the win.
Yep.
Incredible the effect they had.
Yeah, and first here, he opened with 1 Colossi. He went for a 3-gate pressure actually, followed by Colossi, but he started upgrading from his forge very early on. And after that, he made just 1 Colossus, and he went into charge and Archons. I guess he wanted to go into Storm, but he saw that Dream was taking a 3rd. And the thing is, against Terran and on Antigua, even more than other maps, you should never take a 3rd before the Terran does, unless you've gained some kind of advantage. So now he was not trying to take a 3rd too early. He was just waiting to see exactly what happens. He was just making enough units to be safe, to not die from Dream. He held the attacks he had to. And as soon as he saw the 3rd from Dream, this triggered something out of first. First went for +2 armor upgrades as well as charge, and he added on 3 more gates, and he's gonna look to basically all in on this 3rd base or inside of here, inside of the base of Dream, if he can, with as many Zealots and Archon as he can. That's why he's on 9 gates. You suppose that if you go for Stalkers, you're not gonna be able to afford spending all your minerals on, I guess, yeah, you're not going to have enough minerals for 9 gates usually, but now he went for 9 because he's going very Zealot heavy, and with the rest of his guys he's going for Archon. So now he almost engaged before 2 armor here. He was trying to pull back, but then he realized he had to engage. MVP Dream stutter stepping very well here, reducing the amount of Zealots of the army of first, and he was actually very far ahead here in supply. The problem is that Dream, he's teamed so many times, and his medivacs, they don't have any more energy. First, he's gonna go through with this. He's not gonna try to take a 3rd here. He realizes that Dream already has a 3rd base, and he first tries to take a 3rd base of his own. He's gonna have such a hard time coming back in this game economically, so he wants to end it now. And he's gonna press forward here with all of those units. He already has a pylon here in position to warp near the base of Dream. He basically just keeps on pressing through here, and these 2 Protoss armor upgrades did so much. Dream was only 1-1. At some point it really felt like he was just tickling those Zealots.
Yeah, it became very difficult for him to really fight that army, and what you said about the overstimming was a huge factor in losing that last battle. He just kept pushing, but his medevacs were out of energy. He only had 2 of them, so they're not going to be able to regenerate very quickly to heal his army up. If he had just backed up, maybe gotten up to, like, win the first fight very decisively, backs up, gets up to 5 or 6 medevacs, and then pushes when his army is back at full health, and it would have made a huge difference in how this game went.
And yeah, first, basically, stutter stepping as far as he could. He just kited the Zealots really well, but like I said, like, seriously, like, they never died.
Yep, it becomes, without the upgrade advantage, it becomes so difficult to defeat that Protoss army. The only thing that really does well against Zealots are Marines. Marines are very heavily affected by the armor and weapon upgrades, and so when you get down by +1, your only option are Marines, and Marines are so reduced in their efficiency that it just becomes so difficult to kill that army.
And you know, this is one of the first times I've seen this kind of counterattack / all-in versus what Dream did, and I'm pretty sure this might be one of the first time Dream has faced it. Otherwise, if you think about it, he had a third base. He knew that first did not have a third base yet. He could have just gone home, bunkered up, just waited with a good concave, and maybe held. Yeah.
Well, the next map is Cloud Kingdom. What do you think we're going to see?
This is a map where usually people play a lot more standard, but there's still a lot of options for, like, for example, 3 gates and blink, with pressure into Nexus and Colossi. But I feel like first he's very solid. He reads the game very well. I wouldn't be surprised if he just plays standard here, throws down the Forge of his own, go for some Colossi into Templar Tech, and Dream. Third Command Center or not? That is the question.
All right, well, the players are in the game. The casters are so excited, they're shaking. Let's see what happens.